But yeah, all right. The video is called "Was Juice WRLD being extorted?" What the fuck?
One of the first things I heard after Juice WRLD's passing was that the pilot on the private jet that he chartered to fly back to Chicago had tipped off law enforcement that there were several illegal items being carried on a plane, and this is why the police were waiting for him when he landed. But then I found out that a month before any of this happened, his flight from Los Angeles to Sydney, Australia was searched by federal agents because he was allegedly already on an FBI watch list. So what is actually the background of what happened on that jet? Now, it's important to note that despite some of his fans being angry at the pilot for allegedly calling the police, the pilot could have very well been an informant, or at the very least coerced by the FBI into providing information. I'm not sure if everyone knows this, but the airport is federal. If you're suspected in any way of crossing state lines, whether by plane or car, you've crossed into federal territory.
That is true, my nigga. Weed is damn near illegal in almost all 50 states, and it's still illegal to like be brought to an airport.
So of course, if the FBI had checked one of his flights beforehand, why wouldn't they contact his pilot or any pilot that he chartered and order them to provide information? The FBI is not exactly someone you can withhold much information from, especially not as a pilot. Instead of trying to point blame at his girlfriend, the pilot, or whoever was on the flight, the question people should be asking is why over 70 pounds of narcotics were found on the plane. If it were just a few pounds, then I'd say it was all for personal use. It was his birthday week, and according to what his girlfriend told law enforcement, he was an addict. But 70 sounds a lot like trafficking. 70, but why would an artist whose music has already gone gold, platinum, and even diamond while he was alive, living in Encino, one of the most expensive areas in Los Angeles, need to traffic anything? And also, he was only visiting Chicago. He wasn't living there. As I said, he lived in Encino. And this is confirmed by not only he himself stating that he lived in LA, but the Chicago Fire Department also confirmed that in his post-mortem report. But none of this was more surprising than—
But like, who the fuck needs to traffic drugs when you're around Juice WRLD though? Like, the nigga was one of the most richest artists like for that time period. Like, who the fuck needs to trap at that point, my nigga? You know Juice WRLD. What the fuck? Fuck all that. Tana dropped today. He did.
Finding out that his remains were transferred to Leak & Sons. If you're not from Chicago, you have no idea what this is, but it's a grimy funeral home in a very grimy area. And his funeral wasn't held there, but the mere mention of it made a certain hood pop into my head. No Limit, which is on 79th, just like Leak & Sons, only Leak & Sons is a bit further west. Now, I'm kind of unclear on what links a kid from the south suburbs to a hood on 79th Street. As Juice WRLD said himself, his mother moved him away from the hood a long time before he blew up. So the guy that signed him after being put onto his music was Lil Bibby, who was a rapper turned executive from No Limit, who also—
You know what I think he did, bro? Or what I think they did? I just think Lil Bibby, all them niggas that has like put Juice WRLD in a circle with like G Herbo, because No Limit got a bunch of famous niggas in it, bro. Like G Herbo not the only nigga that's popping from No Limit. You know, just put him in a circle, then Juice WRLD felt included in it. You know, start dissing they dead ops or dissing No Limit's dead ops, wherever fuck. You know what I'm saying? And shit like that. After this, listen to Tana.
Did not know Juice WRLD. When he met Juice WRLD for the first time, he was in the studio with other guys from No Limit who also did not know him.
Yeah, like
now, I'll admit that while he was alive, I always thought his association with No Limit was strange. Just being from the city, the suburbs are their own world, and typically the only way you see a guy from the suburbs heavily associating himself with a neighborhood in the inner city is if there was some type of family ties. For instance, there are usually different branches in a family, and a lot of people that grew up in the hood have cousins that grew up middle class in the suburbs. I have family all over the country, from the hood in Memphis to the suburbs in the valley on the west coast. Now, I don't believe that Bibby is as affiliated with No Limit as he once was, since he really has been playing the executive role for a while, far removed from Chicago. But the guys introduced to Juice WRLD due to his affiliation with Bibby are not executives living in mansions. They are very much guys that were still in the streets. So what?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie though, bro. Like, it's just an iffy situation. Like, Drench. Wait, which one Drench? I forget. One of these niggas is Drench. But he poppin' too. Like, No Limit low-key put on, bro. Them niggas dead ass got mad people on their side.
What use would a millionaire raised in the suburbs be to a street gang? Well, in 2022, 3 Army soldiers along with several other people were accused of trafficking weapons to fuel a gang war, which also took the life of a No Limit associate, proving that even with how disorganized gangs are in Chicago, at least some blocks have enough money flowing through them.
So you telling me niggas gonna come back from the Army to bring guns to niggas to Chicago, my nigga? Like, are we serious? Chicago getting guns from the Army. So this is how Rondo number 9 was in a fucking front seat with an RPG on his lap. Like, what the fuck? Tana the GOAT? Get off his dick.
To get certain people in certain positions to acquire things for them. And if what I speculate is true, it's not hard to believe that Juice WRLD was just being used by somebody for his money and access to private flights. The streets are a cold place, and when you're dealing with people at that level, they'll happily take advantage of you and find the right guy to send you the proposition you can't refuse. When I saw a video of Juice WRLD freestyling and he was actually disrespecting dead people, including some of No Limit Ops, I knew there was some type of follower activity going on. Again, he's from the suburbs, and although some suburbs of Chicago are dangerous,
bro, I'm not gonna lie, bro. No, it's a thing that be happening, and it's not even just Juice WRLD, bro. A lot of niggas do it. You know, a lot of niggas be trying to claim that, like, you know, they with certain shit that they not really with, and there's nothing wrong with it, bro. Like, you know, it's a glorified lifestyle by rappers. It's a glorified lifestyle by a lot of niggas in the streets, you know. But it's like, it's nothing to be playing around with. And I get, you know, Juice WRLD probably not, like, you know, the hardest nigga all time. Nobody was expecting that, you know. But it's like, I feel like he kind of was trying to fit in, bro. It's my goat, though. So
some are very much not. And
after this song, you think he gonna be better than Jace? Hell no. Yo, you know what it takes to be better than Jace? Like, Tana, I feel like, I'm gonna be honest, the only nigga in the underground right now that I feel like that possibly could be better than Jace in the future is Majins. That's because how much Majins, like, Majins does a lot. Like, fuck just the music side of it, bro. Like, Tana's a good rapper, yeah. But, bro, I don't be hearing Tana's beats, like, going crazy the way that Majins shits do. And Majins rap, too, and his shit be taking off, too, bro. Like, the nigga Majins so talented, gang. Your song better than Jace? Just wait. Bet.
He grew up in Homewood, which I would definitely not describe as dangerous or gang infested. So would it be far-fetched to say that some guys from 79th convinced him to bring some weight in for them? I don't believe so. In fact, No Limit Cairo, a character from No Limit, even admitted on No Jumper of all places that he was on the plane with him the day Juice WRLD died. Now, it's important to remember that Cairo is not a rapper. He tried his hand in vlogging on YouTube before he ended up in the feds, but he was strictly known for being a guy in the streets for No Limit. Not a rapper.
No, I'm not gonna lie, that vlog was funny as hell though. Nigga went back to McDonald's, the same McDonald's he had that whole video go down, and nigga was eating a knuckle sandwich. This nigga not real, bro.
Or anything that has to do with music. And listen, a lot of these guys could have genuinely liked Juice WRLD and become his friends, but that doesn't mean they wouldn't ask him to do something risky. He was 20 and so were a lot of guys around him, and when I was 20, I was in college, so I can't say that I never saw anyone be convinced to do something that would ruin their life if they got caught. And this is the streets, so it's even worse. And there's even a rumor that some of the guys around him took Juice WRLD's watch after he died. And it's not the same, but it just reminds me of Chief Keef having things stolen out of his house because he let people in that he thought were his friends.
See, this is why I don't like you black niggas, bro. Low key, bro, I think I'm switching my race, my nigga. I'm gonna pull a Michael Jackson, gang.
Reality, most people are just opportunists, especially when you're the one that achieves something that most people only dream about. I'm from 79th, so I can just imagine what these guys felt like flying on private jets with Juice WRLD and riding around LA in foreign cars. This is a guy that was more successful than any rapper and arguably any entertainer from Chicago ever since Kanye West. During his life, he was top 10 in all of music as far as popularity. Just standing next to him would have got you 50,000 followers.
Like, this nigga's like, bro, he was my age. Juice WRLD was my age, top 10 in music. Like, that's fucking crazy. I ain't gonna lie. Like, bro, and he's still top 10 too. After he died, this nigga's still top 10 of all time, I think, or something like that. Something crazy like that. Or not all time, I'm lying. Like, top 40 maybe. I don't fucking know. You're 35? Nigga, I'm 19.
And Cairo, now I'm not saying that if what I speculate is true that he was involved, as Cairo is the only guy from that area that was smart enough to capitalize off his own name and affiliation with people more famous than him, and it led to him gaining hundreds of thousands of views on his own YouTube channel, earning his own money. And it's also important to remember that there is no current investigation into—
hold on. Oh shit. The fuck happened? The fuck just happened?
all of the things found on his plane. Some of the people that were on board with him were only charged with weapons, but whatever trafficking investigation the feds had open on Juice WRLD, they clearly thought he was the ringleader because the case is closed. And several No Limit members have been arrested since his death, including Cairo, but none charged with drug trafficking. The affiliation between Juice and No Limit just shows how naive he really was. Since he was discovered by a No Limit associate, and he's the one that put him in the room with the other label executives, he might feel like he owes some type of loyalty to him, and that's fine. And if the guys around Lil Bibby showed Juice WRLD support, and he felt loyalty to them as well, that's fine too. But being from Chicago, you would know that just being seen with some of these guys can make you a target, which is unnecessary, especially if you're not actually involved in what they have going on.
Why I don't hang with? See, this is why, yo, kids, when you grow up, my nigga, make sure you don't hang with no fucking thugs, bro. That ass, my nigga. Hang around the good kids, gang.
Limit is a very infamous hood, and they've been getting busy for over 30 years. Multiple generations, from back in the day when it was just called Terrortown to today.
This nigga was in the pictures? Ain't he 18 now? How long ago was this? What the fuck? Bro, he's 18 now, even though he looked 30. But
with Drench Gang. These are some guys that you're only seen with if you're prepared to take on everything that they're into. And it's no secret, this has been one of the more intimidating cliques, like I said, for over 30 years. It's not just some group of young guys that jumped in the streets and started gang banging. But maybe Juice was just so under the influence most of the time that he didn't even realize what kind of danger he was putting himself in just by being around them. And with the back door always open in Chicago, it's hard for me to believe that Juice WRLD wasn't somewhat intimidated by these guys, as in his freestyle where he was dissing their ops, he even hesitated for a second as if almost rethinking his actions. But the person behind the camera dropping the rakes was most likely No Limit. Either way,
I'm pretty sure
if you want to believe that the police being tipped off is the reason Juice WRLD is no longer here.
But bro, I don't know, bro. I feel like this shit all like a big ass game, bro. It's all like a big ass, like, I don't know, it's just a fuck fest, bro. A lot of shit was going on that shouldn't have been going on, what I'm trying to say. I don't like it though, bro. That ass RP my goat, my nigga. GG, thugs. Ciao. Nah, but that nigga's still funny though, I ain't gonna lie. He's still funny. What's his name? Cairo.